If you were given a chance to lead the country now, what would be your order of priority in addressing some of the things you listed: poverty, extreme poverty, hunger, drug addiction being maybe the least on the list? But how will you prioritize the issues that are currently that the country is currently faced with?
As Unity Party doing right now, Mr. Sako, like I said, you just make the system is in place, the laws are on the book, just make them work. I'm not going to catch sleep over that. What we're going to lose sleep over is solving our economic issues. And that is going to start with first, like I said, and maybe my brother Randall, it also goes to him because he was in the previous government. So the issues that we're facing today, we cannot leave you out, your previous government. You see, I'm going to use the situation we face today. Unity Party came to power in 2024.
We can leave you out for imposing on all Unity Party that have lied their way to power. So you take bigger responsibility for bringing a 78-year-old man who lies every day about everything. You said he was from heaven. Today he's damaging our country, and there you want to exempt yourself.
Mr. Sako, please protect me. We'll have another time for governance. We're not discussing the governance failures that's hurting our country today. That's not what we're discussing. But I just want to close on just one fact.
Yes, please proceed.
Unity Party came to power 2024. The budget in 2024, they will raise their hand and say, oh, it was not our budget. It was not our budget. That's CDC budget. Mr. Sako, you know what happened? Unity Party spent $671 million of the budget, the man that was the CDC budget, on recurring expenditures. On recurring expenditure. That is, just run the government in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
In 2025, they have increased that amount by a whooping $102,500,000. So this year, the Unity Party is spending $773 million of a budget ceiling that is $880 million.
Mm-hmm.
So you have just $107 million to work for the Liberian people. Mr. Sako, you know how we're going to start when I say? The first action we're going to take is that first, we're not going to appoint any deputy minister that how we save costs.
Okay.
We need to save money for the Liberian people. Sincerely. It is what we face economically in Liberia is a crisis. If our nation does not change this current trajectory, my brother, our Liberian people will never benefit from the government. The Liberian people will never benefit from the government. But the system as it is benefits those who go there. They want to keep it that way. So they don't take any transformative action. The first action we're taking, we will not, listen, as president, we're not going to go look for loan OSA. Like I told you, we got to make efficient use of the resources in the home before we can go take credit. If we are loose and wasteful with the meager resources that we are having, then obviously even credit will not help us. Credit will not help us. I don't have the time to elaborate to you the philosophical disadvantage that every government continues to put Liberian people in. Now, to do big development for Liberia, they will say we'll go take loan with it. But over time, that the Liberian people taxes will pay for it. But the dollars that they generate in taxes in the present, that goes to benefit them. So they wreck the country by taking huge salaries and benefit, and they pass on the cost of any kind of development in Liberia to the people down the line. So year in, year, this year the government paying $153 million just in debt payment. Just in debt payment. Then this year we were celebrating, I think the World Bank gave Liberia something million for education loan. I said, look, as president, we're not going to take loan for education. It is disgraceful. When you can't use your tax dollars to educate your people, you want loan for it. So the tax dollar that we're collecting today, what we do here? It's only good to pay salary backers. It's not good to educate the people of Liberia. So our country is in an emergency. And that's why we're entering the race. And this is the case we're going to make to the people of Liberia. Why they can't change? Unity Party made noise with CDC for 6 years. They made a budget They spent 671 million of that budget. They spent that amount on recurring expenses. In 2025, their first budget, they increased the recurring expense by 102 million. Then Ome Boaga justifying private jet. So this is the this is the disadvantage they put in our country in. Another synopsis I will give you before I close. They were hyping. This is why I tell you the people in the government, they don't have the Liberian people hype. They brought Akiwumi Adesina, the outgoing president of African Development Bank. They brought him to Liberia to deliver a beautiful speech to the Liberian cabinet. They said Akiwumi Adesina came and he was launching the Youth Entrepreneurship Development Bank. Guess what? I thought when you launch something, then the next day it's all to start working. But the Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank that they launched, that's something that I said will happen in 2026. The issue about just for the news and the headline, you brought Akiwumi Adesina, you said you were launching a 17 million Youth Entrepreneurship Development Bank, but the next day the door not open, it not happening the next month, it happened the next week, it happened in 2026. But guess what? So I went to look at the fine details. Since you are hyping this thing up for Liberia, okay, yeah, what are you putting inside? 15.1 million of that, the 17 million Youth Entrepreneurship Development Bank that they say will open in Liberia that will help Africans. They're not going to concentrate or restrict that to just the Liberian entrepreneurs. It's going to be for Africans. The African Development Bank is doing business, 15.1 million of what they put inside. That part of the business, what they're doing. The Liberian government said they will contribute $1.9 million in kind contribution. So when will the Liberian people benefit from their taxes? If you say Youth Entrepreneurship Development Bank is good, how much you put it inside? The African Development Bank money, what happened to our money, our tax dollars? We have 773 million of tax dollars that go on recurring expenses. How much of that going to the Liberian people actually? I will leave you with that question.